It has large, friendly eyes, and it sings a pleasant song.
Can I ask you guys a question? Why do all feminists resemble disgusting, gigantic manatees? You know what I'm saying? Like, every time we get one of these videos, every time I see one of these videos about some crazy feminist freaking out, she's always disgusting. Like, why is that every fucking time? I'm like, oh, crazy feminist? Alright, let me click on the video. I click on it, and I see a fucking walrus. Like, what the hell is going on? I see a beluga whale. I see a fucking manatee. Like, why? There has to be some sort of connection there, alright? It happens way too often for this to just be a coincidence. That shit always has me wondering, but anyways, what we're going to be looking at today is the feminist known as Trigglypuff. That's right, she actually has her own nickname. You guys saw a little sneak peek of her in the beginning, but basically the internet has deemed her what I guess we can call the human embodiment of the Pokemon Jigglypuff. And therefore, we now refer to her as Trigglypuff. And that's basically a combination of the word triggered, which you saw in the beginning, this creature was quite triggered, and the word Jigglypuff, which, as I said earlier, she resembles a Jigglypuff, so when you combine the two, you get Trigglypuff. Now, we're going to watch the clip in a second, but first let me give you all the background information needed here. So, the whole thing takes place at the University of Massachusetts, and it was during an event which is now referred to as the Triggering, where they had some speakers come in and talk about political correctness and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And basically, during the speech and during the event, the librarian from Monsters, Inc. over here got very upset at one of the speakers and started freaking out, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video. And that's pretty much it. That's kind of all the information you need to know. So basically what we're going to do now is we're just going to sit back and watch and, you know, we'll see what happened.
What Milo meant to say is that feminism, while being a noble and valiant, courageous movement, there are certain schools of thought that are somewhat unwholesome. Right, Milo?
No, I meant it was canceled.
All right, I am here to provide some adult supervision. Calm down, young lady.
Okay, if you didn't get what she said, because it is a little bit difficult to understand, she was basically quoting the other guy there, Milo, I don't know how to say his last name, Yiannopoulos or something like that. He's like this anti-feminism guy. He's actually pretty funny. But she was quoting him, and she was trying to, like, correct what he was saying. And she basically said something along the lines of, what Milo meant to say is, despite feminism being a noble and courageous and valiant movement, there are certain schools of thought that are somewhat unwholesome. And then she's like, is that right, Milo? And then he's like, no, feminism is cancer. And then everyone starts fucking laughing and freaking out. Including Jabba the Hutt over here. She starts getting upset, and she starts speaking over this woman who's trying to deliver this speech to everyone, right? So the lady's just like, hey, calm down, young lady. And she points at her, and this is when we get our first glimpse of this fucking mythical creature. So now, keeping all of that in mind, let's go ahead and see what this beast's reaction is to the whole situation.
Contemporary third wave campus feminism.
Is anyone truly surprised at the response from this fucking gargoyle? Like, let's just think about it. You're interrupting this lady during her speech when she came there to talk to all these people. You're upset that someone said feminism is cancer, right? So your retaliation to that is fuck you. No valid argument. You don't have a valid argument to say. Nothing to stand up for feminism, right? Your only response is fuck you. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, that's feminism in a nutshell right there.
Look back.
One more disruption and we'd have to ask you to leave the venue.
My free speech!
No, they're not. You have to obey the rules of the venue.
But this is free speech if you're so concerned!
Not free speech!
Alright, this this just ain't adding up, man. Let's just look at the irony here from this mutant, alright? She's arguing her right of free speech. She's saying that because of free speech, she's allowed to say whatever she wants and interrupt these people's whole event. Now, to anyone who's not a brain-dead feminist, we all realize that's not how free speech works. Yes, you do have the right to say whatever you want, but you do not have the right to ruin these people's event by interrupting it. They are free to kick you out if you do that. You can go outside and yell all you want when you're not fucking disturbing anyone, but while you're in this building, you have to follow the rules. Now, even more so than that, right? Like, that's just the simple part. The greatest part of this whole thing is she doesn't realize that she's trying to impose on their right to free speech. Think about it. Because if they want to get on the stage and say, yeah, feminism is cancer, they are free to do so. That's literally how free speech actually works. So basically, to summarize this all up, the female version of Hagrid from Harry Potter over here is completely wrong and also a moron.
Your comments, please keep your comments to the Q&A section.
Keep your hate speech out of this campus!
Keep your hate speech out of this campus! Keep your hate speech out of this campus! Keep your hate speech out of this campus!
Utter madness.
What the fuck was that, man? What happened? We need to get a replay.
Keep your hate speech out of this campus! Keep your hate speech out of this campus! Keep your hate speech out of this campus!
Utter madness.
Okay, well, ignoring the fact that that's probably the most exercise she got that entire month, let's just actually look at her point. Basically, she's mad at them and she says that, you know, apparently they're bringing hate speech into the campus. Now, if we actually look at the definition of hate speech, it says, hate speech is speech that offends, threatens, or insults groups based on race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, disability, or other traits. So, I'm not quite sure feminism falls under any of those categories. Maybe other traits, like maybe it could go in there, but it's certainly not as serious as the rest of these things. I think every single one of these is basically something that you have no control over, whereas you choose to be a feminist. You aren't born a fucking feminist, so I'm not entirely sure it's valid here, but I'm not an expert on the situation. But regardless, I don't care if it qualifies or not. I'm not gonna be taking feminism hate speech seriously, so anyways.
You're not welcome here!
Use our quiet voices, please. Calm down.
Stop talking to us like children! You're not welcome here!
Stop acting like a child.
Stop spreading hate speech! We wouldn't be here if you weren't spreading hate speech!
That's what I'm talking about. Speakers are not only disinvited, but when they're invited, people come in to disrupt. They don't want others to hear.
Get the fuck out of here!
But I'm the wrong person to be.
Alright, enough joking around. I'd like to take some time here to ask you a serious question. As you can see, she's currently refueling, shall we say. So my question is, what y'all think she's drinking right now? You know, if you had to take a guess, what do you think is in that water bottle? Because let's be honest, it's most likely not water, you know what I'm saying? You don't get to be 600 pounds drinking Coke Zero, you know what I'm saying? That's probably like a bottle full of gravy.
On campuses across the country, speech, ideas, sexuality, humor, it's being, there's censorship. Freedom of expression is being replaced by the right to feel comfortable.
Well, actually, that's basically the end of the clip. There's only like another 30 seconds, and she doesn't have any more freakouts during that time, so I guess we'll just end it there. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Basically, what we learned today is that all feminists look like land whales, and they are usually not very bright and should probably not be taken seriously, which fits in with everything that we know so far, so I'd say we had a pretty good lesson. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.